All right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Oh man, how y'all doing this week? Hopefully y'all doing great, cause I'm doing great. Speaking of, the show, it's a new year and stuff. So I actually got some new new things I want to do to the logo and stuff this year. Actually, we'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to talk about my week. It was a really good week, actually. Very productive. I went home early a couple days out of this week from work, and I don't really like leaving early. I'm all about getting every hour I can. I got kids at home. Some of y'all understand, some of y'all don't. My kids came to me a couple times to work this week, and my coworkers just keep spoiling them, and I got to go home and deal with the, you know, outcome of that. They think every time I walk in the house, I'm supposed to have something for them now, and I just go to work just to bring them toys and goodies home, and that's not the case at all. It's not the case at all. Um, However, overall, this was a great week. I'm not gonna lie. Even with it being a short work week, it was great to spend more time with the kids, more time just around each other, playing around, going out. Whatever the case may have been, we spent quite a lot of time with each other this past week, which is pretty great. Like again, as far as work went, I mean, there was nothing really major that happened. I know I gave y'all a little story of what happened, last time, but this is a different day. Typically, work always goes well. My week always goes in a pretty good way, pretty solid way, I should say. I don't think there is anything that really stuck out in this past week. There hasn't been anything new I've watched. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I did watch the movie Love Jacked. Love Jacked. It was on Netflix, and that was actually a pretty funny movie. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was. I didn't expect it to be cool. I thought it was something I'd fall asleep on, and I ended up staying up the whole time watching it. And The Wedding Year. Also watched that, which was okay. It's pretty cool. I had my boy. Um, well, I always say his real name, and people are like, "Oh, who's that?" But the guy from Everybody Hates Chris himself, the character that plays him, um, he's in that movie, The Wedding Year, and they're just going to like 7 different weddings in a year, which is pretty cool. But you guys should watch that too. Other than that, really, there's like not really a major update, not really too much to worry about, nothing crazy, nothing new to where kind of out there, right? I think so far, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I completely apologize. I forgot the highlight of my week. So, as you all know, I've been recently in the process of getting the business started of my costume business to, do birthday parties and events for kids, stuff like that. Wherever they need, a character, I want to do it. I remember it's CYC, choose your character, right? So I finally did my first birthday party Sunday, which was great. It gave me all the confidence I needed to know that I can get this done and I can do it. Granted, it was a friend or an ex-coworker that I work with, and I did the birthday party for her son. But it was only about a 30 to 45 minutes. But it was still cool to make, I made a cool little amount of money in that little time frame to get that done. But I'm actually like super excited now that I've got the first one out the way that's like officially on paper with the business. So, I can put that onto the resume for it. And I plan on growing it and doing more with it. Of course, there'll be more costumes. I mean, I want to get it to the point where I have every costume that you can think of when someone calls in and wants a character at a party, wedding, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter where it is. Also, now at work, damn, I forgot about that. I'm going to be doing a wedding at work where I kind of get to go ahead and get into a different character as well. So it's just like everything is kind of pointing in the right direction to get this business taken off the ground and full-fledged forward. The only reason you guys have not seen, logo and, prices and menus and all of that is I'm still in Facebook jail. So, I'm still in jail on social media to where I can't really post like that. Twitter, if you guys have Twitter, I'll be more than happy to share everything there to Twitter. But I kind of was going to do one huge drop across all platforms when I got released next week. And I'm probably going to do a little video for the release as well. You know me, I always got to do something funny. Always got to be funny and be out there. But for the most part, like I was just really excited that I was able to take my passion and present it in a way to show people like, oh man, like I can really do this now. Like I've got this down packed. I've got this going on. This is legit. This is cool to go. Like just as an FYI for some people, I just ask that you give me at least a 2-week notice when you have a birthday party that you want me to perform at or be a character at. Only reason why with 2 weeks is I can make sure I've got that day down for you. It holds in your spot. We make sure there is no issue or complications. I can make sure I'm not rushing to get to work or have to be to work right after or right before. It just gives it a lot more creativity to get things done your way. Now, Pricing wise, it's very, very simple. If you want me for an hour, it's $100, right? Minimum an hour, $100. If you want me for 2 hours, 150, and then any other hour on top of that would be an additional $50 per hour. Let's say you want me to bring my backdrop, in my stand in my studio lights, and for me to, take the pictures, that's another $25 that you have there. Let's say you want me to edit the pictures as well, that's another $25. So 50 altogether for me to take and edit pictures, and it's about a 24 to 48 hour turnaround time on that. So, that's really like really quick and easy way to let you guys know about that. And I'm pretty happy and excited, that I'm actually getting this going. Finally, it's taken off and it's really doing pretty well. Now it's just like I have to really think about my scheduling. It's not really like I get the free time I used to have, because I do see now that it will be taken up to the point where, it'll be months out and I'll have things that I have planned out and I can't do it because I probably have a birthday party that day or I probably have an event that day. So I like the fact that the business is also, taking away my free time, but it's filled it with purpose, so to say. It's giving me something to do and a reason to do it. But I'm super excited that I finally got this off the ground. Logo and everything. You guys will see it all next week. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I only have about a week left in Facebook jail. So after this last week of it, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to post everything and get that all up and running. But you'll be able to see all of that. I really love my logo. I created it all by hand myself. It took me, maybe an hour or two to really fully get the logo how I wanted it to. And a lot of people kind of, they had a question about one of the, or part of the logo. But my thing with it is you have to think outside the box. And when you can't think outside the box, or when you can't really, how do I say this? Long story short, it's just your work ethic has to speak for itself, okay? And with this business coming off the ground, man, I'm pretty hyped up, and I just cannot wait until I'm able to go a lot further with it, right? And rather to go and take it places where it hasn't been before, places I wanted to go, places I wanted to be. That's just one of many things though that I can get started business wise this year. So I'm just happy over the fact that there starts it, and I have more things to carry on and put on top of it there to finally get everything finalized. So other than that, though, yeah, that was all the exciting news I had, right? That was just pretty cool. I'm sorry I lost that for a minute, but Sunday was great. Shout out to Coralia and Ryder for his 3rd birthday party. It was pretty cool. It was an Avengers themed party. He was Thor, I was Spider-Man. We were in the backyard for about half an hour to 40 minutes, and then we took a few pictures, had cake and ice cream, and that was it, pretty much a wrap. But hey, again, more to come. Hopefully over the next few months, I'll be able to build a portfolio to where, I can continually to add to it without having to take away. All right. Now that we got the little, how was the week and all those out the way, of course, there's time. It's topic time. We have a few topics we want to talk about today. And to start it off, it's going to be a little harsh. You may look at it, or I may, sound a little rude, but it's really to, I don't want to say prove a point, but it's just to make a statement, I guess. The platform that I use when I speak out, I do understand women hear me and women listen, but again, it's for men, right? So I love the fact that you guys are listening, you guys are taking the advice I give, that you guys are here in and out. I love the fact that you even tune in to do that, which is great, you know what I mean? But I had a woman come to me and express that I speak too much for the men, and that's my purpose here, though. A lot of men have an issue with speaking up. They don't know how to do it or when to do it, or whenever they do it, they get, the art of deflection is real. So it gets deflected off into something that they're doing wrong when, they were just trying to clear up the air with what issues they had. Or have you ever heard the saying that, while you said something to me or you did something to hurt my feelings or piss me off, and now that I'm expressing that it hurts my feelings or it's pissing me off, I have to now tend to you because your feelings are hurt over how you made me feel. Right? It's kind of the same way. A lot of men won't speak up and talk because the minute that they do, it gets thrown back onto them like they did something wrong or they did an issue. I'm here because you can't make me fall into that trap. You can't talk to me any kind of way. You can't speak to me any kind of way. When it comes to the point of me actually having a conversation, I don't care for bullshit. I don't care for excuses. I don't care for drama. Like, we're here to get to a point, right? We're here to talk about something and come to a resolution. And that's why you all see, when it comes to men in general, we don't care to talk about a situation more than once. When you say you want to vent, when you want to talk about something, we let you vent, we talk about it, and we give you a solution. You can't come back the next day to us and say, hey, I want to talk about that again, because like, why? We fixed that problem yesterday. Or we even got the directions on how to fix it yesterday, so why are we still bringing it up today? And that's exactly how I am as a man. Like, I don't sugarcoat nothing. And the reason I don't sugarcoat nothing is because when I did try to sugarcoat things, I got misunderstood. Things were taken the wrong way. Nobody wanted to hear me or listen to what I had to say. So it doesn't really benefit to do any of that. It doesn't benefit to worry about trying to, man, I know it's going to sound harsh. Like, I'm not here to cater to the women, right? I'm not here to cater to you on how I say things and how you take it. What I am here to do is to give you advice and to talk and explain how things work so that you can better off have a, how do you say this, a better relationship with the man that you are with, you know? So if you do hear me talking, it's more so trying to benefit the man. So if you hear me saying something, then take what I'm saying into consideration, you know, practice it in your relationship and see if it works. But as far as the men, you know, I haven't had any man complain to me about what I say or how I say things on the show. And I've had men, you know, express that they see that it's so easy for me to express myself on some things that they find hard to talk about. And I'm going to be honest, even with them, it's not hard for you to talk about it. You just don't want to hear the back end of it. You so worried about sugarcoating it that you don't want to be direct and get the real issues resolved. I don't want to bounce around topic from topic until we figure out that the issue is this and we could have been fixed it. If I'm direct with you and I ask the right questions and I get the right things out of the way, or the right statement, say the right things, we can get to a resolution without me having to worry about yelling or tripping or all of that extra stuff, or me and you going back and forth. Like, it's all about understanding at the end of the day. But my issue is, I'm not going to tell you it's all about understanding to a group of people that, or sorry, not all women are like that, but some women have an issue to where, how do I say it? You want direction, but when it's given, you want to go the other way. So, men, you have an issue with when you give direction and she chooses to go another way instead, you allow that to be an option. And the option shouldn't be there. She'd be like, well, this is the direction you came to me for. This is what I can give you. If you want to go a different direction, a different way, obviously you want to be somewhere else, right? You want to be with another man. You can't sit up here and tell me you want me to lead, but yet you're the one at the steering wheel making all the moves. Like, no. Let me do my job. I'll let you do yours. You know, I'll let you be a part of it. Like, we are here for balance, not because I feel like I'm more important to you or you're more important to me. And I feel like as men, we should really learn that part. Like, we're here for balance. So don't let the what do I say? The excuses, the deflection, you know what I mean? Don't let that get to you to the point where you can't speak up and say, I see what you're saying, but I still feel a type of way. Because after a while, they all are getting so caught up in them trying to justify what they're saying to you or how they're making you feel. Understand the point that they don't care about hurting your feelings at that moment. So that should be the last thing you're worried about. Yes, you want to make sure you're not out there to crush anybody, but you also want to make sure you're getting your point across. You can be direct without completely crashing or hurting somebody's feelings. Like, it's all about how you say things, not what you say, right? So I just wanted to make that clear statement. Like, when I come on here and I talk, the men understand. And they get what I'm saying. They get where I'm going. You know what I mean? It's not a hard habit. It's not a hard thing to grasp. But the women, like you guys, you all have so much more to say to me or to me about it. But it's just that when I counteract and I come back with the comment or a statement that freezes you, then you just want to say I'm rude or I'm mean or, you know, I'm an asshole. But hey, so be it. If you don't want to take the fact of trying to understand what I'm trying to say, then so be it. I was watching a Kevin Samuels video earlier today or yesterday. I can't remember which one. And all he was asking about was being critiqued or what kind of criticism there was to be had. And constantly you see the women getting on, and it's kind of like they're proving his point. The more they come on, they're proving his point back to back to back. It's like you're saying one thing but meaning another. So, all right, here's what the basis of it is to the point is of how, you know what, I'm going to start somewhere else, and we'll circle back, and it'll make sense later on, okay? It'll make sense there. I keep saying that deflection is real, right? And we can sit here and have a conversation as a man and a woman, and I can give you all kind of facts, right? I can give you all kind of facts to back up the statement or to back up what I'm saying. Okay? And because you don't like the facts I put in your face, you want to bring up you want to bring up emotions. You want to be emotional about it. You want to react or respond in a way where you want to be right. So instead of you hearing the facts that I laid out on the table, you got these ideas in your head that you made up that is right, that you believe are facts. But you can't create facts out of nowhere, right? You can't create facts out of thin air over facts that already exist. So if I'm coming to you and I'm telling you, hey, I've noticed that it's been a 10% increase in marriages in the black population because black women are starting to be more understanding and black men are starting to be more understanding to that, and it's starting to work out better. I can come and say that, and all you say is, well, there's 90% of black men that aren't doing it. Okay, but we're improving. At an increase. I never said it was, a dominant thing. I said that we were improving. 10% of the population is improved in it, and you worried about the part that I didn't say. I didn't even hint at nothing at all, right? Why is it that you couldn't have been with me and say, you know what, I wonder what it is that caused that 10% increase? Maybe we can get it to 20 or 30 or even 40, hell 50, right? Maybe we can get it there to where it's an even ball game. But your first mindset is to combat my statement instead of trying to understand where I was going with it. Another thing with it is like, y'all come in and you constantly tell me to change how I word things. Tell me who I say it to, how I say it to, how I comment on women acting and how they operate, how they don't understand or how they don't take accountability. Y'all tell me all of this and you want me to change it, but why don't y'all go to the women on their shows and their podcasts and tell them that, they shouldn't talk about men like that. They should change the way they talk about men, how they talk about men, when and why they talk about men. Because let's be honest, y'all talk about us like we're complete dogs. Y'all talk about every single man like he's the same. And I'll say this again, any woman who says all men are the same, who told you to try them all? I guarantee you didn't try them all because I don't know you. I ain't never been with you. So you couldn't have known all men. So stop saying all men are the same and just take accountability for the fact that you're not always right. Okay? Women, you don't always have to be right. Like, it's okay to understand that you can improve and grow from lessons. Like, it doesn't have to be a loss. Stop letting people put their ideas in your head. Just because somebody else takes it as a loss, that's on them. I've never taken a loss a day in my life. I've taken a lesson. I've learned my lesson a few times. Easily. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not afraid to say that sometimes I have to go ahead and pay attention to my surroundings and environment because I'm not always on top of my game. I'm not always right there to get it done. I'm not always thinking in the best mindset. Sometimes I need a second opinion. Shout out to my best friend, Sydney. Sometimes I need a second opinion. And I'll do that sometimes. I'll go and I'll venture off. It's to the point where even when me and my best friend talk, and I tell people this all the time, I think she's the most level-headed woman I know, right? That I can speak from a personal, personally knowing, okay? When we have conversations, I can sit here and have these same conversations I'm having on air with y'all, right? And me and my best friend can have these same conversations down to the same words that I use. And I get better reciprocation on her responses. Like, she's not out here to attack or combat what I'm saying. Let's say we talk about the fact, hey, you know what? It's crazy that, 25% of black women, and these are fake numbers. Nothing is real, by the way. These are fake, just to give an example. Let's say we say 25% of black women are leaving men because they just don't sleep right. They don't sleep the way they want them to sleep. And, 75% are staying with them because they don't care if they snore, right? Me and her can talk about the fact of, well, why do you think, that the snoring is an issue? Like, do you think it's something that men can do differently to change that? A better outcome, a better this, better that? Versus the fact of a woman telling me, oh, well, that's because, men, they out there cheating all day or doing wrong all day. So they come home snoring because they be tired from all of the cheating and this and that. It's always an attack on the man versus an understanding of the man. And that's why I love having the conversations with my best friend, because she's willing to understand where a man is coming from rather than try to throw accusations at the man before even figuring out what's going on. And I'm just giving you, I know it wasn't really out of, y'all say I always go out the blue with these, with these scenarios, so I tried not to this time. I'm trying to do better with that. But my best friend is just amazing at that, to where I've never had to worry about the fact that I can say something to her because of how I feel or how I'm expressing myself, and I don't have to worry about, oh, that's because you're a man. Like, I don't have to worry about that. She's only said that to me when it came to the fact where I say, when it comes to sex, like, to me, if it's just sex, like, if I'm just going to go fuck, like, it's just a nut, right? It's just a nut. That's all it is to me. It's to where, most women maybe all. It's more emotional than anything. But to me, it's just a nut. She can understand that without saying, "Oh, you're a dog," or "You just want to fuck," or "You just like." No, that's never the case. It's just, to me, it's different. You know what I mean? It's a different story as a man. But we can have that conversation without the finger being pointed at anybody. We can have any general conversation about men and women, and instead of us attacking each other over these conversations, we learn to understand it better from each point of view. So I don't want to hear a woman say they can't understand, they can't try, they can't benefit from it. They can't understand or take accountability, because you're lying. You know what I mean? Like, it's completely up to you to choose which route and which way you want to go. If you don't want to go that route, if you don't want to grow, you don't want to be a better individual, like, that's perfectly fine. But don't sit up here expecting to be with a man that, that's going to take that shit from me. Like, man, we want certain things. And I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all to the best of my ability. And again, we know that nobody's perfect in this world. There's no woman on this planet that's perfect. There's no man on this planet that's perfect at all. Simple as that. We all have our downfalls. All the genders, we have our downfalls. Like, no man, no woman is going to have things that outweigh each other to where it's like, fuck it, I can do without the other gender. No, we need each other. Simple as that. We need each other for balance. But the thing about it is, you got to be willing to have respectful conversations, right? And when I say respectful conversations, like, I don't need you over talking me when I'm trying to explain. Because I sat down here for 45 minutes and let you say everything you needed to say without interrupting you, without stopping you, without pausing you, without wait, without this, without that. I let you say everything you had to say so that I can get a fair turn to talk to. So now that I've let you discuss what you needed to discuss, what's bothering you, let me talk about what you said so I can kind of clear up some air. If not, I can make this situation better for us. So we can both understand where we're coming from on a better level. Because once we can understand each other, these conversations are going to be fire. I kid you not, straight fire. But when you start over talking me, or telling me to shut up or ignore me, or not listening to what I'm saying, then I don't want to have the conversation with you, because to me, you let your emotions get the best of that conversation now. So logically, we can't even talk and get this figured out, because you have to cool down in order to come back down to my level for us to talk and have this combo. You have to be able to say, you know what, let me not take this personally, because he's not attacking me personally. Because I'll tell you right now, there's no woman that I'm attacking individually because I feel like I want to. I am saying this because I want every single woman. I don't care if you're already doing it. Do it more. Like, keep it up. I don't want to say do it more, but keep it up. Like, great job. I'm happy to see it, but keep it up, right? I just want to help. That's it. And it may sound harsh sometimes, it may be rude, but sometimes you have to have those harsh conversations. Sometimes you got to have those rude conversations, because they need to be seen. I told my kid's mom the other day, and not to get too much into the story, but I told her about the fact that sometimes you have to show people the evil side of you. They need to know it exists. They just need to know that bad side of you exists, so that way they know not to fuck with you, right? Because let's be real, people take advantage of people that don't show them that they have a bad side. Everybody that's ever gotten taken advantage of on a multiple times, the reason why is because they were always being nice to people. They weren't the bad person that they can be the villain. They were the nice guy. They were the hero of the story. And even the hero can only take so much. Even Superman has to hang his cape up sometimes, let it dry. I'm just saying. Right? I'm just saying. Simple as that. But again, don't shoot me, because I'm the messenger. I'm just trying to tell y'all how it's going to be easier. You going to take this advice and run with it, or you going to let him run off to the next woman and she going to listen to the advice and run off with him? Up to you. Don't matter if it sounds harsh or not, but at the end of the day, like, what else can you say? What else can you say? And here's another thing. Like, this one is really really the one that pisses me off. Because it's like, why? Right? Why are women listening to other women about men? Nobody can say nothing about that? Well, let me talk for a second about that. No matter what the situation is, even when it comes to my daughters, when it comes to a relationship or a spouse, I don't go to my homeboys to find out what I did or what I said wrong to fix the issue. I don't sit up there and let my friends and my homeboys have been telling me for years, since I was a kid, a teenager, adult, all my life they've been telling me I either need a white woman or I need to start cheating for women to respect me. I've had them tell me that all the time. I've had them tell me that I need to stop wearing suits. I need to do this. I don't listen to none of that. I don't hear that. You know what I do though? When I have an issue with something I'm trying to get across to a point of a woman, I go to my best friend. That's what I do. Hey, listen, I just need to talk. I just need this conversation to be had. Like, let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know where I could improve at. Let me know where I went wrong. I don't go to my homeboys because I know what they're going to say. The same shit I'm thinking. So let me go to the female party. Let me go to a woman I can trust in and see if I can get some actual great advice on what I need to do to improve. I'm serious. Like, even for the fellas out there, man, like, our homeboys are cool because they tired of seeing us hurt, but stop listening to that shit. It's toxic. They gonna want you to be a bad dude because they done got their feelings hurt before too, and don't nobody want to get their heart broken again. So it's easier to be a dog than to go ahead and be in a faithful relationship. You know what I mean? But I'm just telling y'all right now, man, I don't go to men about my women problems. I don't go to my homeboys and other dudes about the problems I'm having with women. I talk to other women. I need to make sure I'm not the crazy one. Yes, I give the full story because, again, if I come to you with a half-assed story, you're going to give me a half-assed response that's not really going to help me. And I want the advice. I want to be helped. I want to reach out to get it right. That's why, again, I love dealing with my best friend because my best friend will be there no matter what to put me in my place, to correct me, check me if I am wrong. And she doesn't feel bad about the fact that she has to put me in my place sometimes. I don't care for a woman to sit here and try to maybe sugarcoat it to me to make me feel better because she's ready to be next in line. No. I want genuine advice that's going to help me be a better person, especially when it comes to black women. I want to make sure I'm the best black man I can be for black women. Simple as that. This next part, I'm going to skip over real quick because I want to talk about something. I want to talk about preferences for a second, okay? The reason why is because there are a lot of people that they attack us men for having preferences, okay? This is what I'm going to say. Most of the women that I've dated and dealt with, most of them, they will tell you all the same thing. I don't like makeup. I don't like weave. Okay? I just don't. Simple as that. My issue with that is a woman can come up here and sit around and give you every detail of what a man needs to do. Every detail of how a man needs to dress, how he needs to act, what kind of car he needs to have. They can give you every preference they want for a man to be, and it's okay. Perfectly fine. But the minute I say I want my woman to be natural, I just want her to wear no makeup and wear no weave, it's World War III? How? How is that fair, Sway? How? I'm only asking you to be natural. And again, I'm going to give you my personal experiences. Most women that I've dated or I've dealt with, when I first met them, they'll tell you they didn't have on no weave or makeup. It didn't attract me. It just doesn't attract me. They'll tell you that they were in their natural states when I showed interest. That's what it was. They had on natural hair, no makeup, no none of that. And that's when I was like, oh, hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. And if you have an issue, and again, if you're my woman, if you are my woman, especially my wife, everything that got to deal with you is my business. So I want to hear that. Keep my hair out your mouth. Keep this out your mouth. You are my business. Everything about you is my business. You and them kids. So you can't tell me to keep quiet on a subject that does pertain to me, right? Because I'm keeping myself like you want me to. You want me to keep the fresh cut. You want me to always look nice, smile, smell good, look good. You want me to do it all, and I can do that. That's not a problem. I keep up with exactly what you like. But the minute I give you a preference on what I like, I'm against you now. I'm belittling you. I'm downing you, and I'm being mean because I'm telling you what I like that attracts me. But yet you're concerned as to why, as a man, I'm not complimenting you. I'm not all up under you. I'm not kissing all over you, showing you all kind of affection. Well, you're portraying an image that I don't want to see. Right? I don't want to see it. Again, it's not wrong if you choose to wear makeup or wear weave. That's okay if that's what you choose to do. There are men out there that actually like it. Go be with one of them. Simply go be with one of them. And it may sound harsh or rude, but it's the truth. I don't want my woman wearing makeup and wearing weave all the time. And if that's you, sorry, but you have definitely been eliminated. I'm sorry, not sorry. My preferences are my preferences alone. You're not going to bully me into wanting a preference for you and then get mad at me for not giving you the compliments you want later on down the road. You want compliments over something I don't find appealing to my eyes, something that I don't find attracted to me. So, again, if you have an issue with the way you were made, like, talk to your creator, talk to God. I can't do nothing about that. But if I like the way you were made, hey, I like what I like. You don't like it, I can't do nothing about that. But if you feel like the way for you to like it is to wear weave and makeup, there is a guy out there for you. I'm just not the one, unfortunately. Hey, no hard feelings, no bad blood, but it is what it is. You can't get mad at me because you no longer fit my preference. And then you can't fake it to me and get mad months down the road and say, well, you never said nothing in the beginning. Well, in the beginning, you wasn't wearing weave and makeup, so I didn't think I had to. A woman's body is not your business. You can choose like a certain things, but if someone you love decided to change it for themselves and you have an issue, then you're a piece of shit. Well, body, I never said body. I mean, well, I'm talking about hair. If I like natural hair, and I'm talking about, again, preference, not about that. Like I say, it ain't my business. If you don't want to do it, we don't have to be together. I'm not going to judge you for it. I just don't like it myself. That's what I'm saying to it. But a woman can sit here and say, well, a man needs to drive this kind of car, make this amount of money. They need to dress like this. They need to look like this. They need to make sure they have short hair, have dreads. They need to make sure they do this or do that. How is it fair for a woman to be able to do that same thing, but a man can't sit up here and say, oh, I like natural women? I just don't think that's fair at all. So it's just kind of like you can't do one without the other. And again, it's nothing about it. If you like to do it, go for it. By all means, have at it. It's just me, my personal preferences. I don't like a woman that does all of that. And I'm not saying you're wrong for doing it. There's somebody that does prefer it. You know, and that's perfectly fine. They'll make you perfectly happy. I don't prefer weave or certain things either, but I can't control someone I love. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can't control it. I don't prefer it, but you can't get mad at me. And again, just hear what I'm saying. Don't get mad at me for not giving you the compliments you want when you do that, because that's not appealing to me. Because if you do want compliments, now you want me to lie to you. And I don't think you want me to lie to you. I don't think any woman wants to really be lied to. Most of the time we get, heckled because of the fact they say that all we do is lie. So it's a double-edged sword for a man. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Simple as that, really. But selfish, no, I don't think that's selfish at all. I think it's a preference that men and women have preferences, and I think it's okay to speak on mine, on what I do like and what I don't like. Selfish, I think is far from, because there are other things in a situation or certain things you will do that I really have no control over whatsoever. You're going to do them anyway. But when it comes to something like that, I mean, hey, go for it. Like, again, I'm not telling you that you can't do it, but don't get mad at me for when you do it, and I've already expressed that I don't like it. When you say you do it and I don't compliment you, you can't say, oh, you're not complimenting me. Well, I don't like that, so why would I compliment something I don't like? I said what I said. Quanti, I have preference on both sides, but I am not selfish. Hey, I mean, well, that's my preference on it, on how I feel on it. I mean, again, if you want to do it, you can do it. It's just something that I don't prefer. I don't prefer it. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own, but I don't believe I'm selfish for having a preference on what kind of women I choose to date, or what I would like them, or how I would like them to look when I do date them, especially if I want the natural look. Natural women are just kind of like how you are born into this world as a natural woman. So talk about that with a therapist. I've talked about it before, for sure. It's definitely not an issue for me to have a preference, which is why I'm able to speak on it now. It's not an issue to have a preference, but that's the main point I like to talk about is you can say that it's selfish for me, but again, women do this all the time, and everybody says there's no problem with doing so. Women can judge a man by anything they want or what they want and how they want it, and it's okay. And that's part of the reason I spoke up on that today, because that's just not fair. That's just not fair. Another thing is what it like, and black women, y'all probably get mad at this one, but this has nothing to do with, hair and stuff. This is just like you want someone to lead the household. And granted, we know that there are some men out there that aren't able to lead a household. We know that part already. But for the ones that are able to, we run into an issue with trying to lead because we're constantly being told what direction to go in, right? And it's like, here's my best way of putting it. I'm not 100%. I don't know everything. And I'm sure whatever spouse I choose, she won't know everything. But I can guarantee you there are certain topics, certain discussions, certain things that she will know more than me. And there are certain things that I will know more than her, right? So when it comes to a point of us trying to build a relationship together, I feel like we should be able to help each other in that platform. If there's something I don't know, you should be able to help me. Something I don't know, you should be able to help. I should be able to help you. But it's coming into a point where it's like women are wanting to be in control of everything, right? You want to do everything and tell us how to do it or tell us where to go. But I think the biggest issue is between both genders is the respect factor, right? I think respect is a really big thing to where we don't see how huge it plays an impact because we feel like we can talk to each other any kind of way. And we can't. We shouldn't. It's very toxic to do that. And this is just coming from the men's side because, again, I'm not a woman, so I can't tell you how I want to be talked to as a woman. But as a man, like, it's going to sound crazy, but If I'm leading the household, I want you to talk to me like your white boss. Or you know what I mean? Like I want you to approach me and respect me the way you do your white boss, because certain things you won't say back to him, certain things you won't go ahead and combat or be combative. Here's what I'm saying. A woman, we know women are very strong, especially black women, man. Y'all are shit. Y'all are very fucking strong. If y'all had a point in y'all career where y'all had to go get a degree, you had to do certain hours, you had to do certain things to accomplish and get those goals, you would fucking smash them all the time. Y'all do great at it. And all I'm saying is take that can-do spirit, that can-do anything spirit, and learn to be my wife. Because I'm going to learn to be your husband. I'm going to do what you want me to do and how I need you to do it, or how you need me to do it. I didn't say you were selfish for the preference. You're selfish for not being kind and complimenting someone you love just because you don't agree with what they did to make them feel better. I'm picky as fuck, but I'm not selfish. Okay. Oh, sorry. I don't know if everybody heard that. I didn't say you were selfish for the preference. You're selfish for not being kind and complimenting someone you love just because you don't agree with what they did to make them feel better. I'm picky as fuck, but I'm not selfish. And now here's just to play devil's advocate. Why would you go do something I don't like knowing I'm not going to compliment you on it? Why? You see how backwards that sounds? Why would you do it knowing that I don't like it and then get mad at me for not wanting to compliment you? You starting a toxic cycle already with that by saying, oh, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Knowing you don't like it, come back to your face and wait for you not to compliment me because I know you don't like it. That's kind of how it sounds. But again, that's just me. That's just me. But also back to that really quick though. I do believe that when it comes to the respect, if I were a 6'2" white male and I was trying to, get you a promotion at work, you would do everything you need to without even snapping your fingers at me or nothing. Like, I don't think that's cool. I just feel like you should respect me as much as I put you on a pedestal and respect you as a black woman. I want you to respect me as a black man. Simple as that. I'm not trying to argue. I don't want to, it's not to the point where I'm trying to say I just don't like you. I don't agree with you. What I'm trying to say is there's an understanding that has to be had. And if you want me to lead this household, like put your trust and faith in me to lead because I can do it. I apologize for whatever you have happened in your past, whatever men you've dealt with before that have shown no signs of being able to lead a household, but I'm not them, right? I'm here to help you out. So I just feel like if we have that respect for each other, we don't have to worry about running into small bullshit like that because we already know where we stand. We already know how to make it a little easier within each other with getting that taken care of. Because again, as black women, like we share a reflection with y'all. You know what I mean? We don't want y'all to look bad. We don't want y'all to think y'all bad. Like we want to be able to be there to support and understand each other. Right? Simple as that. To just be there to support and understand each other. Confirm. This is the thing. I've mentioned plenty of times that it's okay for women to do it, and you've not once even touched on that. And that's part of the problem. Now, another one is y'all always tell men that, level up, right? You tell us we need to level up to your standards. If you got a job, you got a house, you got a car, you want us to be there. If you got an education, you want us to be there. You want us to meet certain standards as men to have an option to have a chance. And that's cool. Like, yeah, that's exactly how things should be, is when you're going ahead and leveling up, it's supposed to be perfectly fine. But now when the roles are reversed and I'm trying to have conversations and I want you to understand and I want you to level up your conversations with me, it's a problem. I shouldn't have to continue to dumb things down when every time I try to dumb it down or break things down, I don't want to say dumb it down. Sorry. I apologize for saying dumb it down. Whenever I try to break things down and go over and talk about them, it's like you want me to keep doing it, but every time I try, instead of you letting me break them down, letting me, explain it, you're combating everything I say to it. But you just asked me to explain this one part, but I can't explain it with you trying to tell me what you believe it is already. You see what I'm saying? Like I can't explain it when you already have the story or you already have the answer in your mind made up, right? It's just not going to work out. So yes, I do want your conversation to be able to be level up. I want you to be able to come down and sit here and have a conversation with me face to face. And I don't want to have to worry about, every 5 minutes telling you, hey, get out your feelings, right? That sounds kind of harsh, but just long story short, get out your feelings. But every 30 minutes or every 45 minutes, we had to talk about the fact that you got a little emotional. That's fine. Hey, emotions happen. There's nothing wrong with talking about it, but don't let it control you. That's what the problem becomes, is like the emotions start controlling it. And at that point, you don't know what you're going to say or do. And remember, you can say things and say you take it back, but we're going to always remember what you said. Always. It's going to always be right there to remember what you said. A lot of women are used to men. I can't believe I even put that one down, but this is true. A lot of women are used to men actually cowering instead of expressing themselves. And when I say cowering, I mean a lot of men will say, you know what, it's not worth the argument today. And granted, every single one is not every single one is not gonna be to the point where you need to speak up or express yourself. And there are some where you just like, it's not really worth it, which is true. There are, some that are, but majority of the time, that's the reason it's continuing to happen, because you don't choose to speak up and stand your ground when you believe in something, or when you're trying to make a statement or express yourself, because you get to the point where you have to tend to her feelings. You don't want to worry about yours no more. And that's great and all that you're able to make sure that her feelings are taken care of, because as men, that's what we're here for. But also, if your feelings aren't taken care of, who's there to help you? Then what happens? Then you start building up a little bit of resentment. It starts growing out bigger than what it is. And then one day she's washing dishes and she wets your shoe as you walk by, and everything comes out over the smallest fucking thing. And I just don't think that's fair. I just feel like as men, you all have a better way to handle these conversations. Yes, women can be emotional, but I've witnessed it and I've experienced it more than once, to where when we see that, sometimes we get triggered by it, right? And it challenges us. Some of us won't step up to the challenge. Some of us will just be like, oh, fuck it, you tripping and I'm out of here. But I believe that there's always a way to bring it back to Switzerland, right? Common grounds. I think there's always a way to bring that conversation back to being level-headed, even if you got to be like, hey, you know what? Right now, I'm not really sure how to take this part. I got kind of a little heated about it. I'm a little angry or upset. I'm going to go take a walk really quick. I'll be right back. Then we can finish this conversation, whatever the case may be. I think that no one understands the importance of sitting there and stopping the conversation midway and saying, hey, you know what? This conversation isn't going well. Let's backtrack. I'm going to take a smoke break. You take a smoke break, whatever. I'll take a walk. You take a walk, whatever the case may be. And then we'll come back to it, right? We'll come back and get there. But that's not the case. We're in the generation to where most of us, we want to be right so bad that we want to point the finger all the time. We want to tell you what you're doing wrong, how you're doing wrong, when you're doing it wrong. But we don't want to sit up there and say, well, you know what? We can work this out, or we can do this, or we can do that. We don't want to understand. We want to be right. And let me tell you one thing about wanting to be right all the time. You're going to be right by yourself. I'm just being honest, man. It's not always about being right and having the knowledge. It's about being able to share that knowledge. It's about learning and growing together, But again, if that respect isn't there, you're going to keep running into these issues, because when is it going to change? When is it going to change? And again, with that whole thing of, high value women, my definition of a high value woman is just kind of what you can do for my soul. I don't care about your money. I don't need to spend your money. You can keep that for yourself. I don't care about how you look, because even pretty girls get left too. Yeah, your personality and your soul is what's going to do it for me, right? I don't really care about the fact of what kind of car you drive and where you stay at. I just want the fact of, like, can you hold your own? You know what I mean? And granted, I'm a traditional man, so I don't mind paying the bills, but this is my thing with it too. Like, are you going to be there for me mentally? And again, you don't have to be my therapist, but at least if I'm breaking down, I know I can come to you and lay down in your arms without being judged, right? I just want to know what you can do for me besides fucking me. I don't need you to cook for me, because I can cook for myself. I don't need you to clean for me, because I know how to do that too. And I can wash my own clothes. I'm here to support you just as much as you can support me. If we can do that together, we'll be great. We'll be great. My definition of a high value woman is somebody that genuinely wants to be there and work at making the relationship better, right? Not at just, being there for them. I'm just saying. Other people have definitions of high value women, and they put it in different terms. But again, to each his own. You say tomato, I say tomato, right? You got one man, his high value woman. She must need to make 6 figures. She need to have a college degree and drive a BMW with a nice mansion and a pool in the backyard. And mine, I don't care if she stay on Charleston and Nellis, as long as she, work and she can, hold her own and do what needs to do as an adult, then you good, because I don't need all the extras. All the material stuff y'all look for when y'all claim for these high value people, and wonder why y'all be getting highly cheated on or highly disrespected because you are looking for the wrong things. There are a few people I know that are high value individuals, and when I say that, I mean having, wealth or income or financially blessed, let's say that word, that I know that are financially blessed, and they don't, all of them don't be acting like that. You know what I mean? Like there's some people I know that definitely are level headed and cool people to be around. But everybody else, y'all have this definition of it, and it's throwing the idea off because now you got every one of your social media friends looking at a post you share from social media on a couple that's getting paid to do YouTube. So it's kind of like, of course they're gonna make it seem like everything is good on the camera, but just like that old saying, that couple that tries to show you that they the happiest is struggling the most. They are having the biggest issues. So again, my definition of high value is gonna be, or the fact is, if I'm sick, let's say you got sick and I went ahead and I brought you some soup. I tried to come take care of you, whatever the case may be. My definition of high value is if I tell you I had a cough, if I seen you that same day or we stayed together, when I got home, you had some Halls there because you heard I had a cough that day or a sore throat and you had Halls. I didn't even have to say nothing. It was like, shit, you want to take care of me just like I want to take care of you. Simple as that. I know that's small, but it's really, to me, it's about what we can do for each other. It's about the benefits we can give each other, not the benefits we have individually. That's my definition of a high value woman. Somebody that really wants to understand and respect me the way I will understand and respect her. Everybody else's definition, you got the right to have your own. I mean, to me, that's what I'm looking for it. To me, that's what it is. Hey, to each his own, right? To each his own. I'm not gonna bring that one up because it's really kind of repetitive. It's kind of repetitive over everything else we were talking about today. So I'm not going to bring that one up because I don't want to create any. What do you want to say to that? Anyway, everybody said that they knew me years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and it wasn't the same person. The way I talk now, it doesn't add up to how I was then. And in the beginning of this show, I said that I have learned lessons. I haven't taken any losses. So the reason you don't get the same Marquand you had from 10 years ago, 11 years ago from my adolescence years is because I've grown up. I used to be quick to my temper, quick to anger. I used to be quick to jump to conclusions without getting the full story. I used to be quick to, I used to actually be selfish, in a way when it came to just me in general in the relationship. Because I thought I knew everything I needed to know. And honestly, you're not going to get that same person from 11 years ago, 12 years ago. You're not going to get that same person from 7 years ago. What you're going to get is the improved version of Marquand every single day. Every day I go out to be a better person, be a better individual. Every day I go out to grow. Me personally, I don't want to stay in the same place. I don't want to stay stagnant because then you go nowhere. Then you get comfortable, and when you get comfortable, what happens? You start getting tired. You don't put the same energy into it no more. You don't put the same, ethics into it. A lot of the times, what we fail to realize is that growth is okay. There is no problem with being able to grow from saying, hey, I used to react to anger as soon as something happened to me, but now instead of me reacting every time something makes me angry, I sit and think about it, and I play it out in my head and I process what's going on. And then I come to an understanding to know, like, is this worth being angry over? Is it worth tripping? Is it worth being disrespectful? Or do I just take this as a learning lesson and move on from it? I will say that I'm very happy that I've been able to grow so much over the past 10 years. Hell, over the past 5 years alone. I'm very excited over how much I've grown as an individual. Today was just because I was a little irritated over the fact that I get attacked by some things when, and again, this is not speaking to the general public, but the people that reached out and the people that said it, like, you have no right and no place to come and say what you said to me the way you said it. You have no right and no place. I've saw, whether it was just social media or just for fun, but I've saw, posts that you made. I've seen things happen in your real life. I've seen issues come about. I've had you reach out to me before for some advice, just to make things easier. So what I will say is you had no right to reach out the way you did. I think the way that you came at me was a little disrespectful. I I think that the way that you try to, call me out on being rude or mean on how I deliver messages, I think that's just your way of saying you don't want to level up, simply to me. There are a lot of women that I'll talk to on a daily in and out, and those women, they are thankful that they have, some kind of advice to go off of or something to do. And again, I'm no Kevin Samuels, right? At least I'm Marquand. I'm me. Can only be myself. But I'm not out here to do any bad to the community. I'm really out here to try to get the best understanding that can be had or held, right? For the most part, some people don't want an understanding. They just want to be right. And again, that's okay. If you want to be right your whole life, you're going to be right by yourself. Or right with somebody that's constantly cheating on you. I've had a lot of female friends that have had issues with their spouses, and they've come to me for advice, and I've given them the correct advice to follow. And I'll tell you, the one flaw in everything that makes them crumble is they cannot stand firm on the advice. And again, if you've been through, if you've been through a situation once with somebody before, you have to stand firm on your on direction or whatever you say. Because the minute you let up, they're going to go back to being the old them that caused the issue in the first place. And that was the problem. The advice was working great up until it wasn't, which means because they felt like the advice was working great, they felt like they didn't need it anymore, or they didn't need to continue because it was back great. But what they failed to realize is there's a way to keep that going. There's a way to keep it up, right? Keep it where it is. Y'all can have, listen, women with the right direction, and when I say that, when I mean being understanding, you can have everything you want from a man without having to be manipulative, trying to be controlling, belittling, none of that. And it's really simple and easy. But again, it's up to y'all, right? I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for them at all. I've been there. I have ins and outs. And for all of those saying, talking about my relationship status, don't worry about it. It didn't matter what I did or what I wasn't. They talk about the marriage. They talk about this, talk about that. I walked away. Understand the fact that I walked away instead of cheating on any relationship. So it's possible, right? I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore. I could stay and make it look like I have a, happy family and just be doing my thing on the side. And then what? Then people will get pissed off. But don't worry. When I have a happy family, when my family is happy and good to go, y'all will know. I will let it be told. There's no problem with that. But it's not because, I want to fake it till I make it. This is what reality looks like. These are what real problems look like, and this is what growth looks like. So, I'll leave y'all with that. Anyway, I do appreciate the fact that y'all came out and let me talk to y'all again for another hour of y'all day on this wonderful Wednesday. I will catch y'all again next week. We'll have more conversations. Now, don't forget, there's an event on February 9th. You know what? I got the flyer. I can post that stuff too. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what you can do, if you do need to follow me, if you do need to talk, you want to get in contact, you got some things you want to discuss, you want to come on the show and talk with me, hell, let's make it happen. Y'all know how to reach me on Facebook. It's Marquand Thomas or Quan Facebook Jail Thomas. Yes, I'm still in Facebook jail. Instagram is Juss Quanni or Talk is Cheap 702. Twitter is Quanni702. Talk is Cheap 702. I think Juss Quanni. I can't remember. No, don't do Juss Quanni. Don't do that one. That's something else for Twitter. Mind your business. I did Instagram, Twitter. Snapchat is the same, Juss Quanni or Talk is Cheap 702. And again, the Facebook page is spelled out Talk is Cheap. No 702 at the end for that. But y'all can definitely follow, reach out on all the socials, all the social media. And TikTok is Juss Quanni23. And talk to me. Let me know any topics y'all want me to discuss. Anything you got to say to me. I'm sure y'all have some positive reviews. A bunch of negative ones too. But we'll definitely be back next week to talk a little bit more. So again, I'll catch y'all next Wednesday at 5 p.m. on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5. Don't forget the dot. I'll catch y'all next week. Peace, love, and hair grease.